Hey y'all, what's up? So it's been a while, I know, since I sent out a video, and that's completely on me. That's not on y'all. Yeah, it is what it is. Uh, this video, what I want to do is I want to go over the WCPS Math 6 review that you should have for this week, and last week. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and go over all of it. And what I want you to do is, if you've already submitted it, go back through, and if you missed one, fix it. Fix it. Okay? All right, here we go. All right, so here we go. Number one, there are 14 green crayons and 27 brown crayons in a box. What is the ratio of green to brown? So what's the ratio of green to brown? Okay? So I've got 14 green, 27 brown. So my ratio is 14 to 27. Okay. I can also write it as a fraction, 14 to 27. I can also write it as using the word 2. 14 to 27. 14 to 41. Well, that'd be the total amount of crayons. So I know that's out. Again, we're not looking for the total. 14 to 27. Okay, so I should have got C. 2, which is equivalent to 40%. Okay, so most of these are fractions. I don't know why they just wrote a full number, so I'm going to go ahead and just take that one out. Okay, so I'm going to make it a fraction. So again, this is one of those that we talked a long time ago, but it's in your brain. To make a percent into a fraction, all I've got to do is just take that percentage and put it over 100. Okay? Now, I can simplify that. Okay? First thing I can do is I can go ahead and mark out these two zeros. Again, if I mark out the two zeros, that just means I'm going to divide by 10. So now I'm left with 4 over 10. Okay? Well, 4/10 is my answer, so I know 4/10. But, as we all know, because we are smart, this can be simplified again to 2/5. But 2/5 and 4/10 are equivalent. Okay? Means they are equal. All right, 3, which is true. Okay? So 3 of these are not going to be true. 1 of these is true. Okay? Here's what we need to notice. These decimals are only 2 places past the decimal. These are 3. So I'm going to go ahead to make them the same. I'm going to add in a 0. Okay? So is 6 and 390 thousandths equal to 6 and 390 thousandths? Yes, it is. So that one works. Okay, it's not greater than because these are the same, so B is out. They are actually equal. That means they're not equal, so that one's out. And this decimal is not greater than this decimal because they are the same thing. So my answer is A. Okay? All right, number 4. Which statement is not true? Okay, well, if I have 4 and 652 thousandths, and I have 4 and 562 thousandths, okay? The 4s are the same, so I need to look at my tenths place. 6 is greater than 5, okay? But I want to know which one is not true. So I know F is out. So that means 3 of them are going to be true. 1 of them is not. G, 4s are the same. 5s are the same. Is 6 greater than 0? Yes, it is. But I want to know the one that is not true. So G is out. 4s are the same. Is 5 greater than 2? Yes, it is. So I know H is out. So automatically, I already know J is my correct answer. But let's make sure. 4s are the same. Is 1 greater than 2? No, it is not. If I had $100 and you had $200, I don't have more money than you. the other person does. So J is not true. Okay? All right, so that's 1 through 4. 5. Which of the following number lines is a graph of -5 and +1? Y'all, this is common sense. Look at the number line. Which one has +1 and -5 circled? Okay, and we're looking for -5 and +1. Again, negative is to the left of 0. Positive is to the right of 0. So I should have a +1 circled. So this one doesn't, this one doesn't, so I already know both of these are out. So when these are right, now I need to look at which one has a -5. Yeah, negative is to the left of 0. So this should be -5s, so I automatically know my answer is C. All right, number 6. Which of the following is not true? So I have integers here, okay? Again, an integer is any number that is a whole number, including 0, and its opposite. So we're basically now looking at positive and negative numbers, okay? So now I got to remember the rule, okay? There are quite a bit of rules in math, but this one's kind of pretty easy, okay? We can narrow it down. But again, which is not true? So 3 of these are going to be true, 1 is not true. Okay, so my 3 rules are this. If I'm comparing a positive and a negative number, the positive is greater. So in this case, positive 500 is greater than negative 500, so I know F is out. Another rule is if I'm comparing what am I trying to say? If I'm comparing 2 positive numbers, the larger is greater. So if I'm comparing 2 and 12, well, if I have $12 and you have $2, I got quite a bit more dollars. So if they're both positive, then the greater one, the larger one is greater. Now, if they are both negative, like here, the number that is closer to 0 is greater. Okay? So that's a little bit different. It's the number that is closer to 0. Okay? Now, what you've got to remember is on the number line, if I draw out a number line here, here's 0. This first number is -1. It's basically the same over here, it's just backwards. So -1, -2, -3, -4, so on and so forth. Okay? So you kind of got to think backwards. So if I look here, -545 is less than -546. Well, -545 is closer to 0 because, again, it's backwards. So I already know this one works out. Well, we just said -545 is greater than 546, so that one's false. And -600 is greater than -601. Well, -600 is greater than 0, is closer to 0 than -601. So I already know my answer is G. All right, 7. What is the absolute value of +8? Again, this sign means absolute value. Okay. Absolute value is this distance from 0 on the number line. Okay. So -1, if I look right here, is 1 space away from 0. So the absolute value of -1 is 1. Same with +1. It's only 1 space away from 0. So the absolute value of +1 is +1. So I want to figure out, what is the absolute value of 8? Okay. Well, if I think about it, +8 on the number line is 8 spaces away from 0. So the absolute value of +8 is +8. Now, every single number has the same absolute value as its opposite. Okay, we talked about opposites way back when. It's the same number. It's two numbers that have the same spaces away from 0. So like what we just saw, -1 and +1 are opposites because they're the same spaces away from 0. Okay, so the opposite of +8 is -8. Okay, we're not wanting to know the opposite here. We're wanting to know the absolute value. Okay. All right, number 8. Multiplying a number by itself creates a perfect square. What perfect square would 9 create? Okay, so again, a number by itself. So like 1 times 1, 2 times 2, 3 times 3. So we want to know number by 9. So we're going to multiply 9 by itself. I know my multiplication facts. 9 times 9 is 81. Okay. All right, here we go. Number 9, fractions. Everybody loves them. What is 3 3/5 times 2 1/3? Okay, first of all, we're multiplying. Okay, we are multiplying. We are not adding. We are not subtracting. We are not dividing. We are multiplying. So I'm going to take 3 3/5 times 2 1/3. Now, I can't multiply that right now. So I got to make both of these as improper fractions. Okay? To make this an improper fraction, I'm going to multiply 5 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. Then I'm going to add 15 plus 3. 15 plus 3 is 18, so I have 18 over 5 times, I'm going to go ahead and bring down my denominator. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. Now I can multiply. Okay? Multiply straight across. I already know 5 times 3 is 15. 18 times 7, I'm going to work it out. 18 times 7, 8 times 7 is 56. Carry my 5. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. So I get 126 over 15. Okay. Now, we can't leave it as an improper fraction. The way I read this fraction again is 126 divided by 15. So 126 divided by 15. Okay. So 15 is going to go on the outside. 126 is going to go on the inside. Okay, now I've got to figure out a number. Okay, 15 times 1 is 15. 15 times 2 is 30. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm just going to choose a number. I'm going to choose 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 75. Okay, that's not big enough. Let's try 8. 40. 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, that's pretty close. But let's just go ahead and try 9 to be on the safe side. 45, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's too much. So I'm going to go 8. 8 times 15 is 120. 126 minus 120 is 6. So we'll get 8 and 6 over 15. Okay, 8 and 6 over 15. Now, I can simplify this down because I can divide by 3. So I'm going to leave 8. I'm going to leave 8. I'm going to divide 6 divided by, move it over here. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 8 and 2/5. 8 and 2/5. Okay. All right, number 10. Ramona completed a homework assignment consisting of 30 questions. Of Of is my key word so far. If 3/10 of her work was incorrect, how many did she answer correctly? Okay, again, that key word is of. So I'm going to multiply 3/10 times 30. Well, before I can multiply that, I've got to make them the same amount. So I'm going to make them both fractions. Again, I'm going to multiply. Well, I know 3 times 3 is 9. Carry on my 0. 10 times 1 is 10. 90 divided by 10. Well, I already know that's 9. Okay. Now, here's what I want you to notice. If 3/10 is what she got incorrect, so she missed 9 questions. She missed 9 out of the 30. We want to know how many she got correct. So I'm going to take 30 minus 9 will give me 21. So she got 21 correct. If you would have stopped here and chose G, that's how many she got incorrect. Okay? I wanted to know how many she got correct. Okay? That's much better. All right, here we go. Number 11. So Ryan bought 2 concert tickets for $29.95 each. At the concert, he bought a t-shirt for $23.95 and food for $10.25. What is the closest amount that Ryan spent? Okay. When we see the word closest, we're going to round. Okay. Now, $29.95 each. Okay. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it the regular way. So $29.95 times 2. Struggle busting here. Yeah, there we go. Times 2. 19. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 1 is 19. 4. So $59.90. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and round that to $60. Okay. He bought a t-shirt for $23.95. I'm going to go ahead and round that to 24. So 24. And then I'm going to go ahead and round this to 11. Because we can't really round that back to $10. Okay. So 11. Decimal 00. Make sure they're all lined up. 4 plus 1 is 5. 8, 9. Okay. So if I add those together, what would be the closest amount he spent? He spent around $95. Okay. All right, number 12. What is the value of negative 27 minus negative 13? The integer rules. Haven't you missed them? I know I have not. All right, so this is the big one that we have problems with. Okay, so we're going to fix this. Okay, all right. So first thing we need to notice is we are subtracting. Okay, so we are subtracting. So when we subtract, we got to use the rule called keep, change, change. Okay, so we're going to keep something, we're going to change something, we're going to change something else. Okay, so what are we going to keep? What are we going to change? What are we going to change? Well, we're smart and we remember the rule. Okay, so we're going to keep negative 27. I'm going to change this subtraction to addition. And then I'm going to change negative 13 to its opposite. Okay, So the opposite of negative 13 is positive 13. So now we're just back to a plain old addition problem. Okay, what we need to notice is negative 27 and positive 13 are not the same thing. Okay, it's not the same amount if I have $13 or I owe somebody $27. Okay, so now I need to go back to the addition rules. Okay, and the rule is either A, if they're the same, just add them, or if they're different, we're going to subtract them, and we're going to take the sign of the larger number. Okay, the easiest way to do that is take the absolute value of each of them. Okay, so the absolute value of negative 27 is positive 27. The absolute value of positive 13 is positive 13. 27 is the larger. So I already know my answer is going to be negative. So I look over here, my answer choice, and I can go ahead and rule out H and J. Okay, so now I'm just going to subtract them. So 27, where are you? There you are. Minus 13, 4, 1. So I know my answer is negative 14. My answer is G. Okay. All right, 13. Grace recorded the average temperature outside for 3 days. What is the difference, keyword, so I already know I'm subtracting, and the temperatures between Monday and Tuesday? So first of all, we don't even need Wednesday. Okay, that's kind of useless information. So I'm going to take 19 degrees. I'm going to subtract it from negative 10 degrees. Again, I'm going to keep change. I'm going to keep the 19, change the subtraction to addition, make negative 10 its opposite, which is positive 10. Now I can add these together. 19 plus 10 is 29 degrees. So 29 degrees. All right, 14. When simplifying the following, which operation should be performed first? Okay, so order of operations. So G, E, M, D, A, S. So G is again for grouping, which we don't have any, so we don't have to worry about that. E is exponents. Okay, if I look over, I don't have any exponents. MD is multiply and divide, and we're going to go left to right. AS is addition, subtraction, left to right. So first I need to look, do I have any multiplication or division? I do. Here's a multiplication. Here's a multiplication. But which one am I going to do first? Well, the one that's closest to the left. So my answer would be 5 times 2. All right, 15. The ordered pair, positive 1, positive 14, is located in which quadrant of the coordinate plane? So I'm going to draw my coordinate plane. So this is quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can also see it as quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That is quadrant 2, not quadrant 11. Certain person that is watching. All right. So now I've got to figure out which quadrant is this ordered pair. Okay, what I need to notice is both of these are positive. Both of these are positive. So if I remember, I know quadrant 1 is positive, positive. Quadrant 2 is negative, positive. Quadrant 3 is negative, negative. Quadrant 4 is positive, negative. Okay. The reason that is because quadrant 1, we got to go to the right and up. If we think in the number line, again, sorry, y'all. Left is negative, right is positive. And all the coordinate plane is I'm just going to take two number lines and I'm just going to put them across them. Now I have 4 quadrants. Okay? So they're both positive, so that we're going right and up. So we are in quadrant 1. So we're in quadrant 1. All right, 18, look at the model. Which number sentence is represented by this model? Okay, now here's what I want you to notice. None of these triangles are colored. Okay, so I already know this over here, this is -4. Okay, this is meaning equals. So which one is equal to -4? This one. That's all you had to do. So look right here. That's -6. We're taking out -2. So it's -6 minus -2. And that equals -4. So -6 minus -2. If I keep change that, I'll make that plus. So -6 plus +2. And that gets me to -4. 19, which statement is true? Okay, back to the integer rules. Okay. The only difference now, again, let's go through. If they're both negative, the one that is closer to 0 is greater. Well, -7 is not closer to 0 than -6. -6 is greater. So I know that's out. This one I have a positive and a negative. Okay? If you're trying to compare a positive and a negative number, that's kind of common sense. It's better to have $8 than owe somebody $8. So I know that one's out. If I'm comparing a negative number and 0, 0 is greater. So I know C is out. Which automatically means D is my correct answer. -6 is greater than -7. Okay. All right. 20. What is 7 3/4 divided by 1/2? Okay. Now we're going to divide. To divide, I'm going to keep, change, flip. Okay. Don't get that confused with keep, change, change. Keep, change, change is for integers. We're going to keep, change, flip for fractions. Okay? To do that, first I've got to get this mixed fraction into an improper. So same as earlier, I'm going to multiply. I'm going to add. 4 times 7 is 28. 28 plus 3, 29, 30, 31 over 4. I'm going to keep this fraction. I'm going to change my division to multiplication. Then I'm going to flip this second fraction to its opposite. Okay? Another word for opposite is reciprocal. So I'm just going to flip this fraction to its opposite, which is 2 over 1. Now I can multiply, so I'm going to multiply straight across. 4 times 1 is 4. 31 times 2. Yes, I could have just done this one in my head, but get over it. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. So 62 over 4. I can't leave that as an improper fraction. Again, that's 62 divided by 4. 4 is going to go on the outside. 62 is going to go on the inside. Okay. I'm going to divide. How many times can I fit 4 into 6? 1 time. I'm going to multiply. 1 times 4 is 4. I'm going to subtract. 6 minus 4 is 2. And I'm going to bring down. How many times can 4 go into 22? 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20. 22 minus 20 is 2. So I end up 15 is going to be my whole number. My remainder will go on top. The number I divided by is going to be my denominator. 15 and 2/4. Well, I know I can simplify the fraction 2/4. I can divide by 2, divide by 2, 1 over 2, 15 and 1/2, 15 and 1/2. Okay. All right, so we're going to 21. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this video for today. Tomorrow I'm going to come back and we'll pick up with 31, or sorry, 21. I can't count. I'm going to go with 21 and we're going to finish it up. So I want you to look over 1 through 20. If you missed any, I need you to look back over it. Okay? All right, so I'll see you again here tomorrow. Same time, same place. It's kind of awkward not seeing you all here, and it's still kind of sad. But we're going to make it. Okay? All right, I'm out.